You can log in from with the help of dev.azure.com also. We'll create first data factory, then we'll enable the Git. So we have the setup code repository, right? So we have to enable this option. Go to your data factory. Correct. In the real time, will not develop the code into the. This is called live mode. So this is called live mode. Means your data factory is always live mode. So from the live mode, we'll schedule our pipelines in the development. Okay. QA also in the live mode, pre-prod production. Everywhere we'll schedule the data factories in the live mode. That is called the data factory. But during the development, right? During the development, we'll not use the live mode. But where can we start the development, right? Where we can start the development, right? You have to set up your code repository, right? Azure DevOps Git. Let Let me create my account first. So project name. Let me create ADF AIC Dev. Will provide that access. Now we have that provide access to your Azure Active Directory. So this is not our work, especially in the real time. I mean, that Azure DevOps team will be taken care. The settings, everything. This is the Azure DevOps admin responsibilities. Azure admin. But during your, I mean, especially your free, I mean, your free subscription, right? So you have to create. Go to dev.azure.com. You should create one, especially organization. All right. You can create a number of organization. Inside the organization, you should create the project. Before creating the project, go to organization settings and just connect to your Azure Active Directory. There is Azure Active Directory option, right? Go and set a connect. Okay, let me open that project. Right here, the project is available. Now see here. So there is a repository, right? Right. There is a repository. Inside the repository, you have that your files, your data, right? Your code files, everything will be available here only. Right. Here you can create the pull request. You can create a number of branches, a number of branches. Okay. There are different types of branches. Feature branch and master branch. Or so always we'll develop the code, right? We'll develop the code inside the feature branch. We'll develop the code in feature branch. But in the real time, you should develop the code into the only feature branch, right? From feature branch, right? From feature branch or release branch, right? Will Merge the code. Pull request. So this is your common centralized branch. This is common centralized branch, right? But always developer, right? Always developer, he can develop the code into his own branch. So this is his dedicated branch, right? Once he developed the code, right, then he should move the code to the master branch, or we have one publish branch also available from the data factory. So there is a publish option. If you publish your code from master branch, that automatically the code will be available into that ADF underscore publish. This is a default branch created by the Azure. So this is the default branch. So we'll discuss one by one. Initialize. Let me go and check whether the option. It will take time. I mean, post completion, it will take. Invest 06321. Let me try. Let me create new one. Yeah. Collaboration branch always may nothing but a master branch. Okay. Let me go and create. Okay. The step one, all right. The step one, log into right, dev.azure.com. Okay. In the real time also, you will do the same thing, dev.azure.com. But I mean, they will provide the your organization name and the project name. Okay. But especially in the free subscription, right? Just log into dev.azure.com. Okay. Just to provide the details, provide the your details. Provide the details. All right. Then it will default. It will create that organization. All right. Default, it will create that organization during the your subscription. I mean, during the your creation dev.azure.com. Right. Once you provide the details, right, it will default. It will create that one organization. Okay. Otherwise, you can give your own organization name. Give your own organization name. Then once login, right? Once log into your dev.azure.com with organization details, right? With organization details like this, you will get your mail ID. Right? You'll get like this. This is your organization. This is your repository. This is your project. Each and every time you can log in with these details. This is your organization name. This is your organization name. Control C. Okay. Then go to your organization settings. Go to your organization settings. All right. First time, right, your organization settings not connected with your Azure Active Directory. All right. Now go to your organization settings. There is organization settings, right? Go to your organization settings from that Azure Active Directory. All right. If it is not able to connect, I mean, if that option is not able to connect option, right? Just go and connect. If it is already connected, right? I mean, you will see the disconnect directory. Don't do, okay? Means here free Azure DevOps is having that access to your Azure Active Directory. This is your tenant ID. Means your free subscription Azure is having that access to your Azure DevOps. Then only you can do the deployments. Then only you can do the deployments. So this is the step one. Correct. Inside that organization settings. So once you have granted, right? Once you have connected, right? Once you have connected with Azure Active Directory, Azure Active Directory, all right? Create a project. Create a project. So this now you're in organization, right? Now you're in organization. Just go and click on plus new project. Or to go and click on place a new project. Post completion of the project, right? Post completion of the project, create project. Next, right? Open that project, right? Open that project. Go to repository, right? Go to repository. Go and create the new repository. Go and create the repository. I mean, once you create, I mean, once you have created your your project, right, automatically your repository will be created. Automatically your repository will be created. Otherwise, go and create the new repository in case, right? If you want to create new repository also, you can create, right, during the project creation. Repository also will create automatically. In case if you don't want, right, if you don't want to go with that existing one, create your own repository, right? Just click on repos, right? From the drop down list, you can do the new repository up to your wish. Okay, once these steps completed, right? Once these steps complete, it will take at least few minutes to activate in your data factory. Right? Go to setup code repository from the data factory, right? So these options from Azure DevOps, right? From ADF side, right? ADF side, right? Log into ADF designer, right? Author tab, right? What author tab, right? Setup code repository. Do the setup code repository. Do the setup code repository. From the setup code repository, right? From the setup code repository, you should provide your repository type, right? Configure repository. Configure Azure DevOps. Let's select Azure DevOps Git. Your Azure Active Directory, right? Your Azure DevOps account, right? This is your project. Azure DevOps account, nothing but your organization, right? Then you should drop down list. You should see this option. If you're not able to see that option, right, just wait 10 to 15 minutes and log out your all DevOps Azure, right? Then you can select, drop down list, it should available your project name. How many projects are available under this organization? You can create a number of projects. From this organization, you will see that a number of projects, right? A number of projects. Then you can create repository from data factory, or you can create the repository from your Azure DevOps also. That people will create always repository from Azure DevOps. So just you can select in the drop down list which repository you want to deploy this code. All right, we discussed that this is the default branch, ADF underscore publish. All right, this is that main branch, means your collaboration, your developer code you're deploying into that main. This is a kind of your centralized repository. This is a kind of centralized repository. All right, just go and click apply. Now, see here, now you're inside the main branch. Right? Now you're inside that main branch. Here you can start your development. Right? Otherwise, you can go and create a new branch. You can go and create the new branch. So in the real time, once you have logged into the data factory, right? Once you have logged the data factory, right? Once you have logged into the data factory, don't develop any code into that live mode. If you do the development also, if you do the development, if you try to publish the code, it will throw an error message in the real time. Means you will not have that any privilege to publish the code into the data factory. I'm talking about development. QA pre-prod production, you will not see the feature branch concept because people will not develop the code into that QA pre-prod production. Only you will do the development into the only the development data factory from only the feature branch, not into that live mode. QA pre-prod production, the data factory will not enabled with Git because there we are not doing that any depth. I mean code development, right? You will do the code development into the only data factory. From development, you will deploy the code into the QA, pre-prod, and production, SIT, UAT, depends on your number of environments. Only development data factory is having the Git configuration. The rest of the data factories will not have the Git configuration because we are not doing that any code development, right? Just we are deploying the code from development to your higher environments, right? All right, then go to in the drop down list, you should select that Azure DevOps Git. Azure DevOps Git. Then from the drop down list, go and select the new branch. Go and select the new branch. All right. Always you can give feature slash feature slash, for example, here. So I'm giving that here. Now see, now I'm inside the Kiran branch. Now I'm inside the Kiran branch. Right. See. You're able to see the Kiran branch and main branch. There is a one feature folder, right? Kiran. Right. You're able to see that Kiran branch and main branch. Right. So what is the next step? Right. What is the next step? Let me develop one pipeline. Pil underscore test. Pil underscore test. Let me create one wait command otherwise. All right. Let me wait 1 second. Let me wait 1 second. If you want, you can do the debug. Right now you are inside the feature branch, right? I'm able to execute. Let me try with add trigger. Okay, let me try with add trigger. What is our message? Trigger pipeline now using the last published configuration. Okay, this is a non-issue, right? But where is the publish option? That publish option is disabled, right? From the feature branch. Now I am at feature branch, but the publish option is disabled. Publish is only allowed from collaboration branch. Create a pull with the help of the debug option. The help of the debug option you can do. All right. Now the code at least it should be published, right? Right. What is the next step, right? What is the next step? At the next step, I mean, you have the only option to save the code into that feature branch, right? We'll save the code, right? We'll save the code. Right. Again, let me try to same trigger pipeline not now using the last published configuration. Pipeline is not found. Please publish first. So what is the next requirement? The next is I have done the my development. So what is the next step? This code should be available into this live mode, right? This code should be available into this live mode because here we have the Git enabled, right? Git enabled. You have now Git enabled in the data factory. Publishing data factory mode is disabled. Please switch back to Git mode to make further changes. Okay. Let me create same wait command here. Let wait command. Right. Let me try with add trigger. Right. Trigger pipeline now using the last published configuration. Now I'm not able to see that any option, right? I'm not able to see that any option. Here giving clearly message You have Git enabled in your data factory. Publishing in data factory mode is disabled. Please switch back to Git mode to make further changes. Right? Means yes, already they were restricted because Git has been enabled on your data factory. Right? Git has been enabled on your data factory. But what is the next step? The next step, we should deploy the code. Right? We should deploy the code into this data factory. We should deploy the code into this data factory. But how can I deploy? Now the code is available in Red. Now the code is available in the feature branch. Now the code is available in the feature branch. This PL underscore test code should be available into my data factory mode, right? But here our collaboration branch is main branch. I'm not seeing any code, right? I'm not seeing any pipeline. I'm not seeing any pipeline, right? In the live mode also, I'm not seeing any pipeline, right? All are zero, right? But from feature branch, I'm able to see that code, right? From the feature branch, I'm able to see the code, right? From the feature branch, I'm able to see the code. Right, that next step. Once you have developed your code from the feature branch, right? From the feature branch, then go and do the pull request. Go and do that pull request. But always in the real time, right? Always in the real time, you're creating that new branch on top of it your main branch. In case if your main branch is having that any code, automatically the code will be available into that your feature branch. There you can do the your code modification or new development. Next, pull request. What is the usage of the pull request? The pull request will extract the code from feature branch into main branch. So basically it will publish the code from feature branch into main branch. Feature branch into main branch. Let me do the create pull request. Let me do that. See here Kiran into that main branch. You can see that files also. How many pipelines you are deploying? How many pipelines you are deploying? For example, my main branch contains already 15 pipelines, just as them. Right, out on 15 pipelines. So this pipeline may be the new one. Right, you will see that only which are the changes. So backend it will verify the code between feature branch to main branch. Sir, which are not in inline, right? Then only those code will be published to the main branch. If both are same, it will not publish anything. All right. Let me go and create the pull request. Let me go and create the pull request. All right. I mean, maybe in the real time, right? Maybe in the real time, you have that full privilege to approve your request, or maybe they'll put some approvals, right? They will add some approvals, right? For example, Suresh is that approval, right? Once Suresh is approved only, the code will be published to the, especially the main branch. But this is anyway feature branch, right? Nobody will, especially do the restriction. Okay. Let me do the complete. Let's see. Inside the complete, delete feature Kiran after merging. Okay. No use this feature branch, right? You can create a number of feature branch, right? Nobody will work on the old feature branch, right? Always if you want to do the development, you should always take the latest code from your main branch, right? Always you take the latest code from your main branch. In case if your main branch, right? For example, Kiran started his development maybe 2 days back, right? Maybe he's in middle of the development. He has not completed the complete full pipeline, right? Then he should think after last 2 days, do we have that any new changes into that main branch or not? If there is no changes, happily he can continue because he had taken the code from 2 days back from that master branch only, right? That is that latest one, right? No need to create the one more feature branch. But during that pull request, if you select this option, that means yes, my code is, you can move to the especially main branch, that is a collaboration. Please delete the feature branch. We should not create a number of feature branch, right? No use, right? Because your development completed. What is the usage of this feature branch? The same code only you're moving into the main branch, right? Your collaboration branch, main branch or master branch, right? You're, I mean, moving that code. No need to, I mean, keep this feature branch up to your wish, right? Complete merge. my merge completed, right? My merge completed. Let me go to the data factory. Let me go to the data factory. Let's see. Now here PL underscore test is available. Right? Are you able to see the Kiran? No, right? You're not able to see the feature slash Kiran, right? You're not able to see, right? Because while doing the, publishing the code from feature to main branch, you have checked that option, delete the feature branch. Delete the feature branch. Now here, right, you can execute it. Right. Now again the code is not published. Right? Again the code is not published. But we have the publish option. Right? We have the publish option is enabled. Right? We have the publish option. Go and publish your code. If you're doing the publishing code, right? Publishing code, the backend it will, the backend ADF underscore publish branch is available. Now the code will be available into that ADF underscore publish. Let me do the publish. Right. Only this code is not published, right? Now it will generate that your ARM templates. Successful published from collaboration branch. Right? Successfully published from that collaboration. So, generating your ARM templates and saving them into the Git. Generating ARM templates are completed. Right? Let me do the trigger. Trigger pipeline now using the last published configuration. Because already you have trigger mode, but will not execute the code, especially from the main branch in the real time either. You can execute code from the feature branch, maybe with the help of the debug option, or maybe from the data factory you can execute. Only you don't have that option to publish, right, in the data factory, right? Now the code is available into that main branch. You have done the publish, right? You have done the publish. Let me go and see the live mode. Switch to live mode. Let's switch to live mode. Already you have done that publish, right? Once you have done that publish from that main branch, right? Automatically the code will be moved to the here, data factory. Here data factory. Right here all code will be moved to the here data factory. But here you can do that execution. Here you can do that here execution. You can do that here execution. Right. You have the privilege to run that pipelines, right? You have the privilege to run the pipelines. Right. Let me go and change the code. Right. Let me go and change the code. 10 seconds. Right. 10 seconds. Right. You're not allowed to make changes or publish from data factory mode as your, right, as your data factory has Git enabled. Right. In the real time also, you will not do the development into the live mode. That is called your data factory. Right. Always you have to do the development from that feature branch, right? From the, once you have the access to your data factory, right? Once you have the access to your data factory, then you should select from the drop down list your Azure DevOps Git has been enabled or not. If it is not enabled, then you should check with your Azure DevOps team. But maybe they haven't provided access to your Azure DevOps organization. Once they provide their access to your mail ID, right? Your mail ID means anyway because that is they're using that Azure Active Directory concept, right? Once they added your mail ID at access level, right? From Azure DevOps, right? Then only you will see this Azure DevOps Git is option. Otherwise, it is always disabled for you. Once it is enabled, right? Your next immediate action, right? Your next immediate action, right? You should create the feature branch. You should create the feature branch. Let me create one more feature branch. Let me create one more feature branch. Right, always you can give that feature slash Suresh. For example, I'm creating one more feature branch, Suresh. Now inside the Suresh branch, I'm having the payload underscore test, right? Because you are creating the feature branch right from your main branch, right? From your main branch, right? Whenever you're creating the feature branch, right? Just first time the code will be copied from main to your feature branch, main to your feature branch. Let me create one more pipeline, right? PL underscore set variable. Right, let me save the code. Right, let me save the code. Let me save the code. Let me do the debug. Let me try to do the trigger. Pipeline is not found. Let me execute this PL underscore test. Right? Because already this pipeline is available in your main branch, right? Already this code is published. Now you have that option to trigger. If the code is not published, then you don't have that option. Right? From the feature branch also, yes, we can execute when if the code is published. Otherwise, it's not possible. See, PL underscore test, I'm able to do the trigger now, right? I'm able to do the trigger now. Right? Whereas in PL underscore SV, right? PL underscore SV, right? If I'm trying to PL underscore SV, right? Pipeline is not found. Pipeline because this pipeline is not published. Right? What is the next step? The next step, right? Let me check here. What the next step? Let me publish. Let me merge this code into that my collaboration branch or main branch or master branch. The names are same, either collaboration, main or master. All are same. Collaboration, main branch or master branch. All right. Name is same. So what is the next? The next step, I have to create the pull request. The same, right? The same process. Always in the development will follow the same process, right? You should create the feature branch. You should clone your code from main to your feature branch. There, you can do the code modification or you can do the new code development. Once your code development completed, right? Once your code development completed, then you have to create the pull request. You have to create the pull request, right? Go and see how many files. Only one file. But you have the two pipelines, right? No, already one pipeline is available into the main branch. There is no change, right? There is no change. Now see, you're creating the pull request from feature Suresh to main branch, right? Feature Suresh to main branch, right? Then here, if you want, you can add the reviewers, right? Do the create complete, right? If you want, you can uncheck this option, delete feature. Right. Merging pull request. Your merge completed, right? Merge completed. All right. Let me go into my main branch. Now you're able to see the two pipelines, right? Let me go to that my live mode. Only one pipeline, right? Fill underscore test. All right. What is the next requirement? I have to move the code from main to that live mode, right? Main to the live mode. All right. From the main branch, you have to do the publish. You have to do the publish. Right. Before publish, let me go to See, now you're able to see that ADF and publisher. Right? Earlier it was only main branch and feature branch, right? Once you have published the code from main branch, right? Here ADF publish code is available, right? Here, right? Here you will see the your ARM template, right? You will see that your ARM template. So this is your code files. These are your code files. These are your code files. Your ARM template contains your hierarchical data, means your JSON data. Here JSON data. This is your parameter. This is your parameter value. See the data factory. If you want to do the deployment from another data factory, right, then you can change your parameter. So what are the what are the code is available in your ADF pipelines, right? Then you should go and check. It contains your JSON data. It contains your JSON data. This is your wait command. This is your wait command. Now you're not able to see the one more pipeline, right? The set variable pipeline, because we haven't published the code, right? We haven't published the code. Once you publish the code, you will see the two pipelines information. Two pipelines information. Let me publish first. Okay. Right. Now I'm doing that publishing, right? I'm doing the publishing. The publish branch ADF underscore publish. You're publishing the code to ADF publish. Right. Deploying changes to the your factory. Publish completed. It will generate that ARM templates. In Git repository means under your ADF underscore publish, you will see the the two ARM template files. All right. Let me select in the drop down list my live mode. Now you're able to see the two pipelines, right? Now you're able to see the two pipelines. Let me go to just now, right? Just now. Let me download. Let me download. Right, this is my latest code. Now you're able to see the it underscore DFD name, right? The pipeline P underscore SC. Right, P underscore text. P underscore text. Earlier you had seen only this pipeline, right? Because right, because initial, right, that initial your publish branch contains only one pipeline. Now we have published the code from main branch to your data factory. Means it will move the code into that your ADF underscore publish. Now your parameter file contains, right, your parameter file contains, right, only the parameter values, the data factory names, any linked services details, right? Only it will available. But your ARM template for factory, right, it contains your code, all your pipelines information, all your pipelines information. See here parameters, the factory name means the data factory name, it will extract from your parameter file. This is your parameter file from, right? Okay. Or from the parameter, the factory name equal to ADF A1C dev01. But this is now parameterized, right? Now this is a parameterized. Your factory ID will extract, right? Your extract from here, right? You will see the, especially this entry question. Whenever you're generating the ARM template, right? It will create some additional folders, but only these two files are important. One is parameter file, one is the code file. Your code file contains your complete all the pipelines information, all the pipelines information. Your parameter file, right? In case if you have any parameter values, not your ADF pipeline parameters, right? Maybe any configurations information, right? Configurations information, right? Those values will be available into that your parameter file. All right. So with the help of these two files, we'll do the deployments. We'll do the deployments from other environments. Other environment with the help of that ARM template, right? ARM template. Now your ADF underscore published generate the code, right? These two files. With the help of these two files, we can deploy the code into that another data factory, QER prepared or production with the help of the CI/CD process. With the help of the CI/CD process. Clear, right? So every day we'll perform these steps. Every day we'll perform these steps in the real time. Every day we'll perform these steps in the real time. Any doubts?
The ARM template syntax means we should tell that syntax, right, bro?
I don't. I am not understanding. What is the syntax? That is a JSON, right?
Yes, yes. They asked me like
That is
ARM
JSON.
okay.
That is a JSON, right? Not syntax. That is a JSON syntax. JSON file, right?
Okay.
Are we typing anything? No, right? It's
No.
generating, right? Right?
Yes.
You're not typing, right? That is it is generating. Then you should talk about that ARM template generating the two files. One is code file. One is the parameter file.
Okay.
The code file, it will contains all your pipelines information. Your parameter contains your ADF name, maybe your link surface configuration details also.
Okay.
If the
So
syntax is the JSON syntax,
yeah. So I missed in starting, bro. Like we cannot execute code in feature branch. Like we
if it
cannot
is
debug
not if it is not published,
if it is not published. Then only okay.
right? I will show you one more time. Let me create one more time feature branch. New branch I'm creating. Okay, so this is step one. Right. Once you have that access to data factory, once your if your data factory is enabled with the Git, the step one you should create that feature slash Jaga. Any name, any name, okay,
Any name. Okay.
any name. Right. Say, right. Now under Jaga branch, you're able to see the two pipelines, right?
Yes.
Right. Let me create one more new pipeline. Master pipeline. Okay. Let me see. There is no publish option, right? It's disabled, right?
Yes.
Publish is only allowed from collaboration branch. That is main branch or master branch. Create a pull request to merge your changes into the collaboration branch, right? Right. But we have that option to save, right? We should do the save. We should do the save. I mean, if you want, you can do the debug also. You can do the debug. But let me try to execute from the trigger. So this is a known issue, right? If the
Yes.
pipeline is not published, right, we don't have options to execute the pipeline, right?
Okay. But we can do debug on this.
Correct. We
Like
can do the
once.
debug, right? Even normal data factory also you can do the debug. This is a known issue, right? If the
Yes.
pipeline is not published, right, there is no way to execute the pipeline from the trigger mode, right?
Okay. Got it.
Let me open this PL underscore SV. Now I'm inside the Jaga branch, right? Let me do the trigger mode. I'm able to, right? Because this PL underscore SV already published, right?
Yes.
But still I'm inside the feature branch. I can
Okay.
execute with help of the trigger mode because this pipeline already published. If the pipeline is published, yes, happily I can execute from a feature branch also.
Okay. So if we have created PL underscore master pipeline, right?
Mm-hmm.
So same time I did the changes in the PL underscore SV also.
Alright.
So
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you
both
can
I
execute, right? I mean, it
both
was
I
already
can,
published, right? It was already published, right?
like if
I
I
didn't
did
get.
it,
Are you talking about publishing? Or are you talking about the code moment?
just PL underscore SV I did some changes now in the
Okay.
feature branch.
Mm-hmm.
So I can create pull request again, right, for
Yes,
this
you should
also.
create, right? You should create,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
You have to promote your changes, right?
Yes.
Right? You have to promote your changes. Otherwise, the changes it will not be available in your collaboration branch, right?
Yes, sir.
But once you created the pull request, right, automatically the changes will move to that your main branch or collaboration branch or master branch. There is no specific pipeline, right? Right. In case if you want to restrict, then you have to discard that pipeline from your feature branch.
So where can I save the backups, bro? Like from every
That
time we
auto,
are changing the code in master branch, right? So we
I
are
will
taking
explain.
the,
Okay.
okay,
No, automatically your Git will contain all the code information. Your history also it will contain. So now this is clear,
version
right?
wise.
This is clear, right?
Yes, yes.
Let me create pull request. If you want, you can give the description. Right. Create. Let, yeah. Now you're inside the your master branch, right? See, right? In case if you have any apply the changes, right, you will see that old code and a new code. You will see that old code and a new code. Your entire information is available here. Your entire information will available into that your main branch. Mm. Let me do the
Oh,
changes first. Okay. Now let me go and check my main branch. Now you're able to see that master, right? Then you will do that publish. It's generating the ARM templates. If there is no changes in the parameter file, it will not create. Only it will create the code file. If there is a change in the parameter also, right? I mean, maybe if you're adding the new, I mean, objects, right? If the objects contains any values, right? Then it will regenerate the parameter file also. Now it contains here master branch. Right. Let me go and create one more feature branch. One more feature branch. Feature slash. Right. That he wants to add some code. All right, he wants to add some code. Now there is a code change, right? Let me see. Let me see. Let me try to trigger. All right. Trigger pipeline now using the last publisher configuration. Let me execute. Okay. Let me execute. You're not able to see the wait command, right? Right? But the wait is
Yes.
already added, right? Because we haven't published it, right? This code was published previously, right? Right? That ADF taken the last configuration, right? The last published configuration, right?
Yes. Whatever it is done last time, so that time only it took.
Right now you have added the wait command, right? You have a wait command. What's the next immediate step? We should create the
Pull
pull request, right?
request. Yes.
Pull request, right? Create, that complete. If you want, you can delete with a branch. The best practice always will delete that feature branch in case if you do, I mean, anyway, you can create a number of feature branches, right? No need to, I mean, anyway, you don't, I mean, you're not performing any additional activities inside the feature branch, right? Always you can take the latest code, right? Always you can take the latest code, right? It's completed. Right? Now you're able to see that wait command, right? Now you're able to see that wait command. Let me do the publish. Publishing completed. It will generate that ARM template. Right, this is right, which will change into that master. Let me go to, let me open that main branch. Let me open that pipeline. Master, right? Right. See how many? Two, right?
Yes.
This is your initial code, right? Execute pipeline, set variable, right? There is no wait command right here.
Yes. So if I want to roll back to the old code, so like new changes I don't want. We did,
Right? Just you
but
can copy paste and create the pipeline, right?
okay.
This is a
So
pipeline only, right?
yes, yes, got it.
This is a pipeline, right? Just you can take the code. I mean, people will do the same this process only. Right? They
Okay.
will take this code, all right? Otherwise, I mean, the easy way, I mean, you can create the copy paste, right? Create that pipeline, right? Create that pipeline. In case within the dev branch you want to do these things, right? You can do these things. Otherwise, you can create with the help of the deployment. With the help of the deployment also we can do. But again, we
Oh,
should generate the ARM template. With the help of that ARM template, we can do the development deployments. But the easy way, yes, we can take the copy paste.
copy paste.
So I'm talking about only within the data factory, not talking about another data factory.
Okay.
So I'm not talking about any CI/CD process. This I'm talking about within the local development live mode. If you want to move the code, so this is the process. So this is everyday activity. So this is an everyday activity. A CI/CD is not everyday activity. The CI/CD is, I mean, especially the deployment will be done by the DevOps team, because the DevOps team, they will set up the all the, I mean, tasks, pipelines and releases, right? You should coordinate with the DevOps team to the deployment the code. Your responsibility only coordination, right? DevOps team responsibility, they will set up that all the, I mean, not repository, that pipelines and releases, right? Here there is a pipelines, right? Right? Inside the pipelines, this is called, I mean, earlier we used to call releases. Now they change it to pipelines. So this is, and release is important. So this is nothing but your CI/CD process. The pipelines, right? CI/CD pipelines. People use it called CI/CD pipelines. Okay. So here, with the help of the CI/CD pipelines, we'll do the deployment from one data factory to another data factory. Now you're inside the development only, right? So what is the next? Then next you have to move the code to QA, or at QA pre-prod or production. Right? Now your code is available into that ADF underscore publish branch, right?
Yes.
Or with help of that ADF publish branch, we'll deploy the code into that another data factory. Because your latest code is available into that main branch or master branch or collaboration branch. The same time, the code you are moving to ADF underscore publish branch also, right? I mean, you're generating, right? If you publish it automatically, the code will be saved into that ADF underscore publish, right? Right, this is the ADF underscore publish, right? Right, this is your ADF publish. Let's see. Right, you're generating the 4 times, right? You're generating that 4 times.
Till ADF publish, it's our responsibility, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, developer responsibility. But here you can compare your version versus version. So this is your parameter. But only one time, right? Because there is no change, right? Right? There is no change. But if you observe here, code file, right? Here code file, all right? Many changes, right? 825, 836, 847, 851, 825. Your parameter file also 825. 825. Because after that there is no change in the parameter file, right? So interview they will ask the question how you're doing the deployments. You say with the help of the ARM template. With the help of that ARM. ARM template is not available for all the services. The Databricks we are not doing that ARM template. The Databricks we are not doing that ARM template. Because ARM template concept is not available in the Databricks. With other services, yes, ARM template is available, but Databricks is not available. Databricks will not follow the ARM template. Only ADF, right? Other services, right? Even the databases also will not follow that ARM template. Databases, right, will go with some Visual Studio. From their Visual Studio, they will merge the code into that master branch or main branch. From there, they will deploy the code. Other services, right? Other services will follow the ARM template. Will follow the ARM template. Databricks will not follow the ARM template. Database also, I mean, we don't have the ARM template concept. Maybe SQL Server database creation, yes, people will follow the ARM template process. Right? But the code deployment, yes, will not follow the ARM template for Databricks, only for ADF. Clear, right?
Someone's, I mean, can multiple people handle the same pipeline at the through different future branches?
No, again, it will conflict, right?
No, but how do we handle that scenario?
No, right? I mean, there is no way to handle. If you, in case multiple people, I mean, honest speaking, if it is the scenario, right, someone should commit the changes. Then only it is possible, right?
Yeah, understand. But what I'm saying is, I mean, see this PL master. Let's say we take example PL master. Probably, I can have. I mean, I can access through my feature branch. At the same
Correct.
time, you can also access.
Correct. You're right.
So
At a
if you
time, they
try
should.
to,
I mean, at a time, two-person should not modify the same. I mean, code the same time. Someone should commit only. Then we should take it forward.
okay, but
So
how
that is
do
a
we know
limitation.
that?
That is a limitation.
Is there a way that we can see someone is modifying that already? Something like that?
There is no. I mean, there is no way, right? There is no way.
Okay.
As per my knowledge, there is no way. Someone should first commit. Then only we can take that code. Or they should split the code other way. They should split the code. Right? One common person should take that collaboration. Maybe individual people they should do the develop. Or they should do some kind of copy paste only. That is the only easy way.
Okay, but otherwise there is no inbuilt locking kind of
Right?
mechanism.
No, there is no way. Otherwise, it will generate your conflict, right?
Yeah.
That is a limitation in the TDF. In the DevOps also, at a time only one person can publish. I mean, you can do publish multiple parallel time also. Right? The latest commit only it will be available, right?
Yeah, I mean it will changes will be
Overwrite,
overwritten with the
correct.
test
Yeah,
document.
it will
Okay.
overwrite. You're right. So this is a limitation. Actually, this is a limitation that Azure DevOps. Maybe other technologies, maybe we don't have this limitation, right? But here, this is a limitation.
Okay.
So that's why in this project, right? That's why in the project, so they had given that. That's why they don't want to give that option, the CI/CD to everyone. They want to follow the some specific team, the CI/CD team or the DevOps team to deploy the code. But into that local, right? Into that local anyway, you're within the team, right? You should inform to your developer. I'm going to, I mean, promote these changes into that main branch. I'm working on these things.
Okay.
All right. I mean, will not create that. Will not, the main branch is not common for all the projects. The project specific, they will create that main branch. I mean, the repository I'm talking about.
Okay.
Understood, right?
Yeah, that I understood. But only thing is, yeah, I think we have an option to multiple people can access the same pipeline through different future branches. That we can't control unless we have an understanding within the team.
Correct. But I mean, within the project, for example, 10 people are working the same project, right? We should inform to the team, yes, I'm going to do these things. But this main branch is not common for all the projects. Project specific, they will create. Otherwise, too much conflict, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Otherwise, too much conflict. So they will create a project specific, that main branch. So
Okay.
this is a limitation. I mean, to overcome that limitation, right? To overcome to that limitation, right? We should do the pipeline deployment. People will follow the pipeline deployment. So they will use the PowerShell script. So this is an easy way to do the deployment. But yes, if they want to, I mean, overcome this issue, right? So they will do they will extract everything, each and everything, data set, pipelines, linked service, right? Each and every component. So they will do the deployment from PowerShell. At the time, they will take the what is the latest code, right? Individual, they can develop, right? Which code is completed, right? Again, the next developer, he should take the latest code.
Okay.
But PowerShell, I think it is possible, but there is a kind of hectic activity. Again, this even PowerShell also the same process, right? We should take the latest code, right? Otherwise, the changes will overwrite. Right?
Yes,
The changes will overwrite.
but only thing is tool itself doesn't have any mechanism like that.
Correct. You're right. Tool is not having the mechanism. You're right. Maybe here we should play, right, with help of the PowerShell or maybe the copy paste, something we should do here. The download and you can modify it. That is possible. But tool level, this is the restriction.
Okay.
Clear it. So this is every daily activities. These are daily activities, especially in the real time, right? Now you're clear, right? We should not do the development into the data factory. Always we'll do the development into the Git repository. From the Git repository, you will create your feature branch. From the feature branch, you will start the development. You can move the code into, you will move the code into that your merge branch, that is your master or collaboration or master branch. From that master, you will move the code to your data factory live mode. Any doubts? No, that is I will explain. I will explain. Any
So
doubts?
we cannot use ARM templates for Databricks, right, bro? So
Sir,
suppose if we cannot use ARM templates for Databricks, right?
correct.
So if we use any notebook in our data, like our pipeline,
Hmm.
how can we call that one? Like how can we call that notebook? It is in the Databricks, right?
Because ADF, you're not using that, only you're using that only that URL path, right?
Yes.
Not URL path, that folder path, right?
Yes.
Right? Here you're not creating any Python code, right?
Yes.
Right? Because we have the separate process deploy the Databricks code. I mean, right? Not ARM template, not ARM template. From the Databricks again, you have to enable your Git, enable your Git. But only ARM template concept is not available. The same that feature branch, master branch concept is available in the Databricks also. Only that ARM template concept is not available.
Okay.
But here we are talking about that ADF underscore publish. Only it will generate your ARM templates, right?
Yes.
Right, Kiran?
Yes, and
Right. But Databricks, unfortunately, we don't have that ADF underscore publish. ADF underscore publish, right? Only for Data Factory. Because that publish option is not available in the Databricks, right?
yes.
Right. From the Databricks, the same how we did the setup code repository, right? We should enable the Git. We should enable the Git. Then you should connect with your Git or I mean project details or organization details. Once your Git enabled, right? Once your Git enabled, once you have done that code, right? You have to I mean, check out your code into the your repository, that is your master branch or your feature branch. But from there, we'll deploy the code into.
Yes.
But ADF will yes will use that template as an input for ADB. Right, for ADB, will use the your Python code. Means once you have check in your code, right? Once you have check your code into your Git, right? Your Git contains all the your Databricks code. There is a notebook, right? Here all the notebooks are available into that Azure DevOps. From there, we'll take it forward into the next Databricks workspace.
Like which one is the best? We took the repository, right? And we have GitHub also, right?
I mean, Azure
Hmm.
DevOps, right? Not Git. Will not follow the Git concept. Azure DevOps is the right because Azure DevOps is the Microsoft product, right?
So we can go for only repository.
Right. Azure DevOps, right?
Okay.
You're talking about this one, right? Where is-
When we click on that repository, we got two options, right? In
Yeah,
drop down.
that's why I'm trying to edit only. Yeah,
Okay.
already it's created. It already it's created. We should have the some settings option.
We can take other data factory ones. We can create new data
It should
factory, then
come.
only we
It
can.
should come. Yeah, that is Git slash two only two options, but we'll follow
Yeah.
that Azure DevOps only. But we should have that option here.
Okay. So like why you are going for repository means we should tell that repository is the Microsoft product. We
Correct.
can tell,
Not
right?
Microsoft product. That is your standards, project
Standard.
standards.
Okay.
All right. Again, for example, if you follow the Git, right, that advantage is right. Backend at state is using the Git concept only. That advantage of the Git, right? If you are expert in the Git commands, right, even you can do the deployment with the help of the command line also. Not only the CI/CD. I mean, from that Git, you can connect with another Git also. You can do the deployment. That's one of the advantage. But you should know the Git commands.
Okay.
I mean, you can do the CLI also, but people will follow that only that Azure DevOps. People will follow that only that Azure DevOps. But backend still, it is using the Git repository only. Why not able to see the settings?
Like I faced this question. They asked me this question.
Which question?
Like we have two options, right? Repository
Yeah,
and GitHub.
Git. Yes,
Which
correct.
one? Yeah, which one you want to go? They asked.
That Azure DevOps because Git means only that is a more on command line interface. I mean, but that advantage also Git that advantage is right. Even you can do the deployment with the help of the backend Git configuration. You can connect with the Git CLI. From that CLI also you can do the deployments. But that is more, I mean, command based. So this is more graphical user interface. But
Got it.
99.9% people will follow only that Azure DevOps. Right? Maybe other, for example, Amazon, right? Right? Amazon DevOps also available, right? AWS DevOps also available, right? There also we can use that Git option. There you will not see that Azure DevOps, right?
Yes.
Right? You will not see that Azure DevOps Git. So this is clear, right?
Ah, yes. Got it. Clear.
This everyday this is everyday activities. We should create everyday feature branch and number of feature branch from the feature branch to that master branch. I mean, master branch or main branch or collaboration branch is that common. All right. These three, I mean, name is convention is the same. All right. Once the code is available, then you can move the code into that year live mode. In the real time, you will not do the development into that live mode. If it is a big project, if it is a very small project, maybe small startup company, if they haven't enabled the Azure DevOps Git, right, you don't have that option. You have to do the development here. In case if they haven't enabled with the Git or Azure DevOps, that again a process, right? Again a hectic activity, right? If it is small project, right, hardly 1 or 2%, right? No, we don't. We will do the deployment manually. We don't want to do the CI/CD process. Some kind of startup company I'm talking about, small projects, right? So they don't have the separate team that Azure DevOps. They don't want to enable the Git. Then your data factory, right? You will not see the Git. Yet here you have to do the development because anyway this is a development data factory, right? Then you can take that code. You can generate the templates. Right? With the help of the templates, you will log into the QA. Right? There you can import the templates. So that is also one of the easy methodology to do the deployment from one data factory to another data factory. You can generate the save as a template, take the template, right? And once you save the template, right, you will download into the local, log into the new data factory. There you will do that import templates. That is also one of the easiest method to do the deployments. In case if your data factory Git is not enabled, but this is the easiest. In case if you want to, I mean, finish your deliverables, you want to deploy their codes, right? It will, for example, time-taking process. Just as maybe the Git is not enabled in your project. They said it is a time-taken process. It may take 1 month, but you want to, I mean, move your code into the next environment. So this is the worst case. In the worst case, what is that alternative? That alternative, right? You have to download the templates, right? You have to download the template, right? You can deploy the code, right? You have deploy, not save the template. pipeline. But use this template or export template, which now you should log in and you should import your templates. But you should log into that another data factory. Then you have to import, use local template. Right? Then go to the downloaded one, right? Downloaded one, and you can import. You can use this template. Fill underscore test. So this is one of the easiest methodology to deploy the code from one data factory to another data factory. But we will not follow this process. Only will follow this process in case your data factory Git not enabled. In case your data factory Git not enabled, but people will do that manual deployment. Like in Databricks also we can do the manual deployment, right? You can export your notebooks and you can import into that another data factory, another Databricks, right? Right. I mean, export the DBC file, or you can download your workspace, maybe your pre-prod production. Right. So we'll do that manual deployment also when if your data factory is not enabled with the Git. Maybe your Git is having that issue, right? You want to finish your deployment. Maybe you should take some additional approvals to move your code into the next environment. This is very rare case. Otherwise, people will prefer their only CI/CD, right? If it is a big organization, in case so they want to go with the Azure DevOps only, right? If they want to go with the Azure DevOps, we'll follow this process. If the Git is not enabled, there is a manual deployment. But in case if any issues in your Git, right? Maybe your deployments continuously it's getting failed. You're unable to, I mean, your Azure DevOps team unable to fix that issue. All right, at the time, all right, due to your go live, we'll do the manual deployment. That is very rare, hardly 0.5 percentage, but 99 percentage will follow that only CSAD. Hardly 5, I mean, 0.5 or 1 percentage will do the manual deployment. So this was an interview question. I mean, no, I don't. My Git is not enabled. How you will do the deployment? All right, you should download the templates. All right, import the templates. The second option, take the JSON code. All right, go to the QA and manually you can create the pipelines. I mean, manually copy paste that code. Right. In case you don't want to go the templates, right? Only one pipeline. No, I don't want to go with the template. Take that code. All right, copy paste and go and create the new data factory. All right, the same name you can go and create the pipeline. Just copy paste that code. All right, copy paste that code. Create the pipeline. Fill underscore test one. Copy paste. Right, copy paste. For example, Control C. I want to create one pipeline. For example, fill underscore test two. Fill underscore test two. All right. I want to create fill underscore test two. Go to your code. Test two, right? T2 or test two? T2. Right? No, your pipeline is ready, right? So this is also one of the alternative. All right. This is one of the alternative to move the code. Either export templates or take the code and copy paste. Take the code and copy paste. Just assume your all the link service, everything is available. Right? You can do the copy paste. If it is not available, then go and do the export templates. So depends on your convenient. But first priority CACD, right? Worst priority, I mean, the worst case, the export templates. The third option, take the code from X environment, right? Create into the Y environment, copy paste the JSON code. This also will do in the real time. But your Git, your data factory should not enable with the Git. Only your development only will enable the Git. Your QA pre-prod production, the Git will not enabled because you will not follow the same feature branch concept, right? Only the feature branch, master branch concept, right? Only for your development and merging the code, right? In the QA pre-prod production, nobody will do the development, right? Only they have to promote that code, right? You will do the development only development environment. QA pre-prod production, right? 100% Git is not enabled. Only you will do the deployment with the help of the CI/CD from that ADF publish, right? Or from XYZ branch. It could be release branch or it could be feature branch. So depends on your, I mean, deployment. If you're following the Azure DevOps, I mean, ARM template, then you will see that ADF publish. If you're following that PowerShell script, then you should generate your pipeline separate, data set separate, linked service separate, your trigger separate. Depends on your, I mean, your DevOps team. Depends on your DevOps team. But easiest way is ARM template. Clear, right? Any doubts, Kiran, with the?
No.
Okay. Yeah, we'll connect tomorrow with CI/CD process. We'll do tomorrow deployment, Databricks as well as ADF pipelines also with the help of the CI/CD. At least, I mean, in case if you have that account, please create the feature branch, that, right, and do the development and move the code. Tomorrow we'll talk about the CI/CD process, and we'll do the Databricks deployments also tomorrow. Jagdish sir,
Bro,
did you get any response, Jagdish sir, from the community?
They have created a ticket, sir. They have sent and they have created a normal ticket. What they have said is they will come back based on the priority, it seems.
Okay.
Suman bro, can I share my screen? Actually, I have created one cluster by using clone option. So it's working for me. Can I share?
Yeah, share please.
Are you able to see?
Yeah, I'm able to.
So just now I have created a clone like based on the existing cluster. So when I ran, it's working now.
Mm-hmm. Clone
Just
means
now
I did not get you.
No, before
like
Already
creating
it
cluster
was there, right?
only.
yeah, we have already one cluster, right?
Right, because in my
Yeah,
case the cluster is not available.
I have created a
Yeah.
clone
Yeah.
here. So I use that.
But in my case, I don't have any clusters, right?
Mine also cluster is
Right.
removed.
I don't have the clusters.
Yes. So okay.
But now it's working, right? If you did a clone,
Yeah, just for
let
practicing purpose, it is working for me, no problem. But if I want to create new, it will not work.
no forget it. At least, but I don't have that old one. I don't have that old one.
So if possible, we can use this one tomorrow
Oh,
class if you want.
sure. Anyway, I think issue will resolve.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure, I will use in case. I mean, the issue not resolved. Don't terminate. I mean, don't delete the
No,
clusters.
no, no. I'm not deleting it.
Okay, then fine. It's executing, right? The code is executing, right?
Yeah, code is executing.
Okay, maybe. Okay, I think they applied some fix yesterday. Maybe last night. I mean, you were created, right?
Databricks has issued one notification, sir. There is some service down from Databricks.
Okay. Service is done. Okay.
So early morning as the issue has happened. So probably they are working on that, I think. We can see some changes in the afternoon.
Okay, sure. Thanks everyone. We'll connect
Thank you.
tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you
Bye.
all.